You did a good, baby, huh? All right. I guess anything else? I get sued all the time. Y'all.
Tonight involving a controversial politician in the south suburbs. Tiffany Henyard was the only Thornton Township leader to show up for.
You won't believe what just went down at the latest Dalton Village Board meeting. It was absolutely wild and chaotic, leaving everyone in shock. We've all seen political drama, but what happened with Mayor Tiffany Henyard takes it to a whole new level. Picture this: the mayor, right in the middle of the meeting, getting arrested after causing complete mayhem and having to be removed by force. Yes, you read that correctly. The live broadcast of the meeting was suddenly cut off as the situation escalated so quickly, it felt like something straight out of a TV show. But this wasn't scripted, this was real life in Dalton, Illinois.
I don't believe that is legally correct. That's just not the way municipalities operate.
Let's dive into the details because this story is overflowing with drama you won't want to miss. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, no stranger to controversy, has been clashing with the village trustees for months. If you've been following the news, you already know her relationship with the board has been anything but smooth. There have been constant disputes over decisions, appointments, and nearly everything in between. But at this latest board meeting, tensions hit a boiling point and things escalated in a way no one could have predicted, taking the drama to a whole new level.
Questionable spending by a South suburban politician named Tiffany Henyard, but we only knew half.
Witnesses at the meeting described the atmosphere as electric, with tension so thick it felt almost palpable. From the very start, it was clear that something dramatic was about to unfold. The trustees had gathered at the local Park District building, a move prompted by the ever-growing crowds that had turned Dalton's government meetings into a must-see spectacle. Village Hall, unable to legally accommodate the surge of people eager to witness the mounting drama, had become inadequate for the civic unrest now defining Dalton's political scene. Residents packed the venue, some genuinely concerned about the town's governance, while others were simply drawn to the spectacle of controversy that seemed to follow Mayor Tiffany Henyard at every turn. But on this particular day, Henyard wasn't about to conform to expectations or follow the usual meeting decorum. She tossed the rulebook aside, asserting herself with her signature defiance and dramatic flair, setting the stage for yet another chapter in Dalton's political saga. As tensions flared between Henyard and the trustees, it was clear the mayor was playing to the crowd, her leadership style more reminiscent of a reality TV star than a public servant. As the chaos unfolded, residents were left wondering, was the mayor's behavior a calculated power play, or just another example of her refusal to follow the norms of governance? The spectacle only highlighted the broader issues plaguing Dalton, a town now more famous for its political theater than its ability to tackle its challenges. Henyard's captivating approach left many questioning the sustainability of her leadership amid these mounting problems.
But those invoices lead to more questions, and sometimes we don't get answers to those questions. And so it's not about clickbait, it's about just
Instead of joining the trustees at the Park District building for the scheduled meeting, Mayor Tiffany Henyard made a bold and controversial move. She held her own meeting back at Village Hall. It was a defiant gesture, almost as if she was trying to remind everyone that she was in charge and would run things her way, regardless of what anyone else thought. However, her plan quickly unraveled in spectacular fashion, and what happened next was enough to make everyone sit up and take notice. Only 2 trustees showed up to Henyard's impromptu gathering, far short of the number needed to legally hold a meeting. With no quorum, Henyard had no choice but to cancel her self-declared session, marking an embarrassing setback for someone trying to assert dominance. But Henyard wasn't about to back down. Determined to make her presence felt, she jumped into her car and drove to the Park District building, where the official meeting was continuing without her. What happened next was pure drama. Henyard stormed into the meeting, disrupting the proceedings and immediately drawing all attention to herself. What had been a tense but relatively smooth gathering quickly spiraled into chaos as her unexpected arrival hijacked the spotlight. "Hello, hello," she called out as she entered, causing a stir among the trustees and attendees alike. Her dramatic entrance added yet another chapter to Dalton's ongoing political theater. The room, already thick with tension, erupted into confusion as Henyard took center stage, refusing to play by anyone else's rules. The scene highlighted her contentious leadership style, one defined by disruption and defiance, and left many in the room, as well as the community at large, wondering if Dalton's political drama would ever come to an end. As the dust settled, it was clear that the growing divide between Henyard and the trustees was reaching new heights, with the town's residents caught in the middle of an escalating power struggle.
A restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval from.
A charged wave rippled through the crowd as residents, already exasperated by Mayor Henyard's antics and controversial leadership, visibly reacted to her sudden appearance at the trustees' meeting. Uninvited and unwelcome, Henyard interrupted what had been a functioning, albeit tense, session. Some attendees, unable to contain their frustration, turned their backs on her as she entered, a silent yet powerful gesture of disapproval that spoke volumes without a word. Undeterred and ever dramatic, Henyard approached the microphone with her trademark defiance, proclaiming, "I am the mayor of the village of Dalton," as if to reassert her authority in a room that clearly wasn't having it. But before she could say another word, the crowd erupted into a cacophony of boos and shouts, drowning out her declaration with a wave of sound fueled by anger, frustration, and sheer exhaustion from the ongoing political drama that had consumed their community. The room, thick with tension and emotion, became a battleground of words and gestures, highlighting the escalating frustrations of a community desperate for accountability and effective leadership. Henyard's dramatic entrance and the crowd's hostile response underscored just how much trust had eroded under her administration. Many were left wondering whether reconciliation or resolution was even possible as Dalton continued to grapple with its deepening divisions.
A temporary restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval from.
Tiffany Henyard attempted to take control of the volatile trustees' meeting, but her efforts were quickly drowned out by a chorus of shouting, boos, and overwhelming public disapproval. Determined to assert her authority, Henyard tried to speak over the uproar, demanding respect and declaring the meeting itself illegal. Her goal, she loudly proclaimed, was to make key appointments, including naming a new police chief. However, her words were lost in the deafening clamor of an audience unwilling to let her have the floor. Constituents, already fed up with what many saw as her heavy-handed leadership style, made it clear they had no interest in anything she had to say. The tension in the room was palpable as Henyard struggled to maintain her composure. Yet the noise, frustration, and outright hostility proved insurmountable. She lasted only 7 minutes before being forced to leave the room, effectively booed out by the very people she claimed to serve. What followed was nothing short of pandemonium. Henyard stormed out of the building, visibly enraged by the crowd's rejection. The situation quickly spiraled out of control, with chaos erupting further as reports began circulating that Henyard, incensed by the public humiliation, allegedly got physical with one of the officials present. The altercation only escalated the already volatile atmosphere, drawing gasps from stunned witnesses and raising tensions to an all-time high. Police, who had been strategically stationed nearby in anticipation of trouble, quickly intervened to restore order. But what happened next shocked everyone in the room. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the self-declared super mayor of Dalton, Illinois, was arrested. The arrest marked an astonishing turn of events, the dramatic culmination of a meeting that had started with high stakes and ended with even higher drama. Residents watched in disbelief as Henyard, once a polarizing figure who had positioned herself as a beacon of leadership, was led away in handcuffs. Her attempts to reclaim control of the narrative were undone by the sheer weight of public dissent and her own actions. The fallout from the incident left the community reeling, serving as a stark reminder of the deep divisions and mounting tensions that have come to define Henyard's controversial tenure.
And always does it is to go and investigate people around her.
The live broadcast of the meeting was abruptly cut off as Mayor Henyard was taken into custody. The sight of a sitting mayor being dragged out of her own meeting in handcuffs seemed like something straight out of a movie, but this was no fictional scene. It was real life. So what exactly led to this dramatic arrest? To fully understand, we need to step back and look at the bigger picture, because this moment didn't happen overnight. It was the culmination of months, if not years, of tension, chaos, and outright defiance from Henyard. Tiffany Henyard has been shaking things up in Dalton for quite some time. Since taking office, her tenure has been marred by one controversy after another. Whether clashing with the trustees, ignoring legal orders, or making appointments without the board's approval, Henyard has made it clear that she's going to do things her way, and that's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Take, for instance, the time she appointed a new village manager, village attorney, and police chief, all without board approval. That's right, she didn't even bother to get the trustees' consent on these major decisions, which is how local government is supposed to operate. The trustees, unsurprisingly, weren't having it. They took the matter to court, and a judge issued a restraining order, telling Henyard in no uncertain terms that she couldn't make those appointments without the board's approval. But did she listen? Of course not. Henyard's defiance continued, setting the stage for the explosive events that ultimately led to her dramatic arrest.
This is the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor, and
Pushing boundaries, the restraining order was just another line Henyard crossed. At one point, there was even talk of holding her in contempt of court for consistently ignoring the legal process. Her relentless moves to consolidate power-defying court orders, bypassing the board, and acting unilaterally only fueled the growing tensions. Henyard seemed determined to operate above the law, and each new step in her power grab only deepened the rift between her and those who sought to hold her accountable.